This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. So yes, the Fazley Phynica guitar, again I think it's pronounced Phynica. You may have seen me unboxing this guitar last week. I think it was Sunday I did it, and I said there'd be a full-on kind of shakedown of the guitar coming, and that's what we're doing today. I'll tell you all about what I think of the guitar and what conclusions I've come to about it, and give you some specs and facts and figures pertaining to this instrument right after we've heard how it sounds. Here it is. And as usual, there is a full tab for that piece of music in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it and a jam track for you to play along with for yourself. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address, and the link is in the description. As you know by now, $3 or £2.50 a month gets you access to all of these additional bits and pieces and goodies that go along with these YouTube videos. A massive, heartfelt thank you to everyone who supports me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are linked down below. Now then, just a little bit of housekeeping, just in case you couldn't see what I was doing with the pickup selector on that piece there. That kind of funky, strummy kind of part, I was on the this setting on the pickup selector. I think it might be either number 2 or 4, depending which end you count from, but basically the neck and middle pickups. The clean lead guitar part was on the neck pickup. The sort of crunchy power chord stuff was on the neck and on the bridge and middle pickups, and the high gain lead guitar part was on the bridge humbucker. So that plus the amp model screenshots that you saw on screen as I was playing should give you a rough idea of what the guitar sounds like under various different pickup settings and amp conditions and so on. So while we're talking about housekeeping, let's have a little bit of a look at some vital statistics for the guitar. There's the neck profile at the 1st and 12th fret, a nut width of 41.7. It hasn't come out too clearly in that picture, but it's 41.7 millimeters and a weight of 3.34 kilograms. So that tells you what you need to know in terms of its measurements and so on. whilst we're getting all this kind of techie stuff out of the way, let's have a look at a little bit of B-roll where I've done some DC resistance readings on the pickups. You can see quite a hot bridge pickup, 13 point something K, and the two single coils are 5 point whatever it is in each case, and just there's the in-between settings as well that I ran through just to kind of give you an idea. So a pretty hot bridge humbucker, but it really does kind of, it's a cheap ceramic pickup, it's always going to be. These guitars are £150, £149. There's a link in the description, by the way, if you want to find out more about these guitars. So it's a £149 guitar. It's never going to have a set of Seymour Duncan antiquities in it or anything like that. But, for what they are, they're not bad. Those sounds that I did that little piece there with were usable. And one thing I forgot to mention on the unboxing video is that although this bridge humbucker is really hot, I'm dialed into, I believe this is the amp model here. No, not that one. This one. I'm plugged into the Spark at the moment, and that's the amp model I'm using on the Spark for the sound you're going to hear next, which sounds like this. Okay, but if I just turn the volume control down, just roll that back, it cleans up to, well, I wouldn't say it gets clean, but it becomes something much more usable as maybe a blues rather than a rock kind of sound, so something like... Take that sound to the neck pickup. I'm noticing more and more these days that it's becoming pretty much the norm that, when you roll the volume control down on a guitar, once upon a time it was pretty much, it was the exception to the rule that a guitar sound didn't turn to like a thick, woolly, muddy, kind of muffled, let's get rid of all the treble, but... more and more these days, I don't know if manufacturers are just installing treble bleeds by default, but I'm noticing that you can roll the volume off to clean the sound up without losing all the high end on pretty much most of the guitars I've tried recently, and that includes this one. So, they may not be the most refined sounding pickups in the world, but they produce usable sounds, and they clean up nicely from the volume control. So I've got to say I'm pretty happy with that. I think I was a little bit harsh on the tuners in the in the unboxing video. Perhaps they don't feel like high-end tuners, but having watched that video back, I think I said they felt a bit cheap. And to a lot of people, the word cheap kind of equates with nasty. They're not. They just don't feel particularly high-end, but they are, as you can see here. Let's just see if I've got the right shot. There it is there. Yes. They are locking tuners, and, they get the guitar in tune and keep it there. There was a little bit of tuning instability when I first started playing the guitar, but that's, new strings, not bedded in yet, all that sort of stuff. And you really don't want to go anywhere near the trem if you value tuning stability, but that is largely down to this butterfly string tree. Spend less than £1, probably less than £1 for two, and you can get a roller string tree that will sort that out, no problem. Chuck a little bit of graphite in the ground up pencil lead in the slots of the, let's not forget, bone nut, and it's you're going to have plenty of fun with a trem. It's just because I'm not that much of a tremolo user that I haven't bothered doing any of that. I tend to forget about it. To be honest, it's just not something I habitually reach for. It's not there in the muscle memory with me. The playability on this guitar is really good, and I don't mean it's really good for a cheap £150 guitar. I mean it is really good. The fret ends I mean, there is, there have been a couple of made in Mexico Fenders that I've tried recently, and we're talking here guitars that cost in excess of £600-700, that haven't had fret ends as good as this. You know, really bad cheese grater fret sprout on a guitar that costs that much money. That's unacceptable, especially when Fazley can sort that kind of thing out on a guitar that costs 150 quid. So, you know, no sharp fret ends, absolutely smooth as silk. Action, I mentioned in the unboxing video that it wasn't a high action, but it was higher than is habitually my particular taste. I'll just measure it now, and that is about, let's call it a hair's breadth over 1.5 millimeters. So, you know, that's perfectly low and slinky. I've had to do nothing to the truss rod since I got it. It's the neck relief is dialed in spot on this guitar. It's a really nice instrument, you know. If you're one of those people who's thinking about I'll get a Harley Benton and I'll mod it, I would say that you're going to get a better end result by starting with one of these. Just my opinion, you know, feel free to disagree. These are, you know, for pound, you know, dollar for dollar, I think you're getting more for your money at this price point of 150 quid than you are on a Harley Benton. Just the neck profile. I mean, this has got a roasted maple, bone nut, locking tuners, Wilkinson bridge. I'll just show you that there. You can see it is a Wilkinson bridge. So, you know, let's run through that again. Locking tuners, bone nut, roasted maple neck, a gorgeous looking veneer on here, contoured neck joint. If you look in the back there, it's got a nice big old chunky tremolo block as well that's not made of steel, but then again, the Fender Stratocaster I had last year was the same. That wasn't made of steel either. You know, all of those things rolled into a package that costs £150, and all you'd have to do really to get this guitar unleashing its full potential is, you know, swap out that butterfly string tree and throw a set of inexpensive but upgraded pickups in here. I mean, that bridge humbucker is a little hot for my liking anyway, and these are ceramic pickups, which aren't my taste anyway. If it were down to me, if I was keeping this guitar, I would spend however much it would cost to get a set of a couple of Vanson kind of vintage Alnico 5 single coils, and maybe a Vanson Classic 57 Alnico 2 PAF to go in the back end there, to give it a little bit more of a vintage kind of vintage classic rock kind of vibe, and you know, I would have a guitar that I'd quite happily use professionally. Then, you know, I wouldn't say it'd be me main guitar, but it would certainly be a guitar that I would use in rotation. Thing is, though, this guitar it was supplied to me by Bax Music, and it's been supplied on a loan basis, hence why, you know, I haven't taken the film off the pick guard or the pickups or anything yet. It's going back to them. I mean, I could buy it if I wanted to, but I've already got the Sire Larry Carlton S7, which is, you know, everything I want in this kind of slightly modernised Strat style package. It's got the roasted maple, and it's got the bone nut, and it's got the locking tuners and all that sort of stuff. So, do I really need to spend money on buying another guitar, then duplicating it and spending money on modding it up to duplicating it? Well, not really. But if you have 150 quid or thereabouts to spend, and you like this sort of updated take on a Strat, which is, let's address the elephant in the room here, it is a pretty looking thing, isn't it? That maple veneer on top and that pearloid scratch plate, it looks like, well, it doesn't look like a £150 guitar. It looks like it costs significantly more than that. And it already, out of the box, it came, you know, set up, you know, pretty well. You know, I lowered the action a little bit, but no fret buzz, no choking out. Nothing like that. A really comfortable neck to play on and usable sounds, functional sounds like that I would possibly upgrade. But hey, maybe you listened to that demo at the top of the video and thought, you know what, that's right up my alley. That's my cup of tea. So you might not even have to do anything to it. I really quite like this guitar, as you can probably tell. I'm not getting paid to do this review. The guitar has been supplied to me on a loaner basis, but it's going back to them. I don't get any recompense from Bax Music or anybody for, kind of promoting the guitar. These thoughts are the thoughts I've come to. I just keep coming back to, and I know I say this in all the videos I do about cheap guitars, just the leaps and bounds we've experienced in the quality of budget guitars in the last 10, 15 years or so. It's a surprisingly good instrument, and it wouldn't take a lot of effort or money to turn it into something that you could use professionally. So there you go, folks. Those are my thoughts and conclusions on the Fazley Phynica, something or other. I think there's a model number and everything, but you'll find that out if you follow the link down below. It's the Fazley Phynica, let's call it HSS Strat style guitar, from Bax Music. And that is the video for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen and found it useful and informative in some small way. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. Don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 p.m. UK time, where we drink beer and talk music and guitars. What's not to like about that? It's a fantastic way to kick off the weekend, and I would love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.